USN is based on the Terra Luna Stabilization mechanism, and we all know how this ended. While researching this stablecoin, I discovered many flaws. That's why we got to ask, is USN a ticking time bomb for both Near and cryptocurrency in general? Stay tuned and we'll find out. Hello and welcome to Finance with Axel. Today we look into another algorithmic stablecoin, namely USN. This is the Near's protocol native stablecoin and it is pegged to the US dollar. Before we jump into the topic, remember, this is not financial advice. I am just producing high quality educational and entertainment content, but never financial advice. The stabilization mechanism of USN works exactly like the one of Terra Luna and their UST, but with one major difference. There is no near burning and minting when expanding or contracting the USN supply. It works like this. Once the price of USN is below $1, arbitrageurs can come in and exchange 1 USN for $1 worth of near tokens. This is an arbitrage opportunity because USN is trading below $1, so it could be bought for, let's say, 95 cents on the open market and then be exchanged for $1 worth of near, which then can be sold, making a profit of 5 cents. If the price of USN is above $1, let's say at $1.05, $1 worth of near can be exchanged into 1 USN. The near is not burned like it would have been in the exact copy of the Terra Luna model. Instead, it is put into the treasury of the central bank, the DAO or Decentralized Autonomous Organization, which guards the stability of USN. The USN then can be sold for $1.05. Again, the arbitrageur would make a small but very important profit. These small arbitrages help to secure the peg. So far, the system worked out fine. In its short history, USN was always trading at around $1. That's good so far, but we can't look back on a long history. On the contrary, the coin has only been around for as little as a bit over a month. Remarkable is that despite all the turmoil, the peg has held well. The peg hold because this coin started out using double collateralization of USN in the reserve fund with both Near and other stablecoins initially. To my knowledge, this initially is only USDT. I would have preferred not to use Tether as this stablecoin is notorious for its suspicious practices. So it is questionable whether the one-to-one backing is actually existing. Also, not all the underlying assets are stable, but some are volatile, like for example commercial papers, which also adds additional risk to the Tether stability. I know that there are ominous audits that supposedly confirm the reserves, but the sources they come from are suspicious. These are from unknown audit firms from tax havens, which are known for telling only and exclusively the truth. But back to USN. According to the white paper, as the result of these simulations, the research has concluded that at present the recommended initial stablecoin part of the reserve fund should be considered at the level of $1 billion. It is unclear if they got all these USDT. I also wonder if this means they want to have an additional 1 billion worth of near too. I assume this, but it is unclear. I have no clue where the initial funds came from or if they actually deployed these. I tried to find out by asking in their Discord. This happened several days ago. Unfortunately, I never received a reply since no one just pours $1 billion or $2 billion out of their sleeve, I would assume that simply USN was minted out of thin air at first and no real backing was deposited. The transparency of USN is even more questionable than that of USDT, and that is quite something. I searched for their reserve wallets and the supposed double backing. I was not able to find any information. Questions in Discord, as all of my questions, were not answered. It might be possible to find answers on-chain, but I am not an on-chain wizard and most other people are neither. Normal dudes like me should also be able to figure this out. It seems like even CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap don't know what's going on with USN. The circulating supply is unknown on both of these tracking sites too. We don't even know how many of these coins are in circulation, but I would assume that the supply is quite small since the marketing for this coin is the absolute worst, and after the Terra fiasco, no one has an appetite for more algorithmic stablecoins. I also hope that this stablecoin will never become big, because then it could become a danger for the whole crypto ecosystem. If it is not a threat to all cryptocurrencies, it is at least a threat to the Near protocol. This stablecoin reinforces the already existing price trends. When the price of Near increases, it increases even more because this is always accompanied by greater adoption and increased use of the ecosystem. Thus, the USN coin is also increasingly used. In order to mint it, Near coins go into the decentral bank treasury and thus shorten the supply again, which drives the price even higher. Then, as more and more USN is in circulation, and if we exaggerate and assume that it will be as popular as UST, then USN and Near tokens in circulation would be worth the same dollar amount, then we have a real problem if the bear market finally kicks in. When Near loses a lot of its value, which would mean that USNs in circulation would no longer have sufficient backing, the collateral deposited would therefore suddenly be worth too little to guarantee stability and the peg. This would cause the price of USN to fall below $1, as people would quickly try to abandon the sinking ship. Now the stability mechanism is kicking in. USNs are bought below $1 and Near worth $1 is taken out of the treasury. These Near are again thrown on the market to realize the arbitrage. This puts further pressure on the price of Near and makes the reserves shrink even more so that it can come to a death spiral. By the way, the mechanism used has a huge flaw and will not be able to guarantee a price extremely close to $1. This is because they introduced a 0.5% fee for token minting and burning. Small price differences therefore cannot be balanced out. This is because it's not profitable to restore the price peg when USN is trading only slightly above or below its peg. An arbitrage opportunity exists only when the price deviates more than 0.5% from its target. What is also very worrying, in the white paper, they seem to have forgotten their rubbish fee, because all the examples of the functioning of the stabilization mechanism are without the fee. How this fee is then used and what happens with the money is also unclear. Does it go to the USN holder or the DAO, or is it burned? Completely unclear. Obviously, my questions about this also remained unanswered. To my understanding, the Near tokens in reserve should also be staked. This is how USN can produce a constant yield of 10%. I guess this will be distributed to the USN holders, but I don't know how this exactly is done. Maybe the USN balance just constantly grows, but it's impossible to know. Questions in Discord were not heard. Some of the reserves will also be converted back and forth between stables and Near. How this works in detail is also completely opaque. If you wonder how the DAO exactly works and who is in charge, this is also opaque. According to the information I found, the DAO is automatic, but parameters can be adjusted. How this is done or who is in charge is in the dark again. How this DAO is supposed to vote, nobody knows as well. So let's summarize. Intransparency and incompetence come together in this case. The available information is far from sufficient, and no statement can be obtained from the actors involved. Big red flag, the stabilization mechanism is copied partly from Luna. An unstable asset should back a stable one. Ingenious, another red flag. In addition, some improvements have been made to the mechanism so that no Near is minted or burned, but only goes into the treasury, which is good. Swapping into other stablecoins is described completely inadequately, and the introduced fee is simply retarded. On top of that, the white paper is also flawed, as they mention the fee 2 times, but it is completely missing in their graphics and explanations. I can't understand how anyone in their right mind could come up with the idea of using USN. It's a trap! In addition to the design flaws, the absolute lack of transparency prevents you from getting enough in-depth knowledge about the project. To top it all off, critical questionnaire completely are ignored and remain unanswered. Both the central bank and Near did not consider it worthwhile to answer me. My advice: stay away from this shitcoin and shit show and share this video so hopefully something will change in the future. At least this is no systemic threat right now, as the supply is apparently still small and the stabilization mechanism is thought out better than the one of Luna. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if the information provided was useful. Bye, take care.